jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Listening to World Combat Sports. Man, it's another hitter on a Sunday. First off, salute to each and every one of you who support WCS each and every time. Day one's in the building. Once you come in my house, boots on deck, hit the like button, man. Share the content. And if you choose to donate, man, the Cash App, you already know where you can find it. Man, it's another boxing weekend that just took place, man. And I was pretty entertained off both cards, actually. You know, because it had some relevance. There's some fights on there that have relevance to future fights potentially. So, you know, you had the top rank card, of course, and then you know you had the Showtime card. But let's start this off though. Let me put this banner up here. Let's first start off with Boots Ennis. You know, even though Showtime PBC came on a little bit later, let's start off with Boots Ennis. Shout out to Boots Ennis for going in there and stopping Thomas Delorme or Tahamas Delorme. He went in there and got the job done. Hit him behind the ear. Pretty much messed up his equilibrium or whatever the case may be. He was never the same after that. Or it might have just been the heat that Jerome Boot Ennis was sending his way. And, you know, of course, he stumped out that fire quick, stomping in his big black boots, and he ended up adding another win to his resume. Now Jerome Ennis is 28 victories into his professional career, y'all. Jerome Ennis is 28 victories into his professional career. 28 victories at only 24 years old. 0 defeats and 26 knockouts, y'all. 28-0, 26 knockouts. Salute the team Ennis, goddammit. Let me get to this live chat right quick. Bruce goes on deck. What they do, man? Salute WCS. Salute to you, Bruce. How you feeling, bro? Cooking with Sir Senior in the building. On deck at World Combat Sports. Salute, bro. Cono Loco Sports on deck. Salute to you, man. King Mitch on deck. Transcendent Sports channel on deck. How you feeling, bro? Appreciate everyone for pulling up to the channel, man. This is a big deal, right? I like the way Ennis went in there and handled business on that fight card against Thomas Delorme, who was on a 2-fight losing streak. Okay, let's not forget that he was coming off 2 unanimous decision losses. All right. I know a lot of people boosting up, injecting Boots Ennis with the next big hype, and it's warranted. Boots Ennis is coming, and he's coming with a fury. For real. Boots Ennis is coming strong. But you have 2 names. You have 2 names that's out there right now that's making big headlines, big waves. But the reason why my thumbnail says empty clip, because they call out Errol Spence, and we pretty much heard this call out before. Like, will Errol Spence step in the ring with somebody as tough as Boots Ennis? And no, we're not talking about no 70-30. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about no 80-20. If Boots Ennis is going in there with Errol Spence, we can't forget Virgil Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? Virgil Ortiz is lurking in the welterweight division too. Sooner or later, we're going to have to understand that Sean Porter, you know what I'm saying? He said he was going to fight Errol Spence right away. And then it's been call outs after call outs after call outs of big name boxers. And we really don't know who's going to fight who because the shit never happens. I want to stick with the welterweight division because Errol Spence was kind of scheduled in February to face who? Yordenis Ugas, right? But now they want to throw a tournament up and all that shit is went to the sideline. Coming off an eye injury, Boots Ennis calls out Errol Spence. Do you think he'll take that fight? He don't need a tune-up? Do you think Errol Spence will pretty much take his same approach he did with coming back and say, I don't need a tune-up, so who am I going to face? Danny Garcia, right? Well, when he come back after this eye injury, do you believe Spence is going to have the same energy to say, you know what? If the young lion want it, he can get it. Shit, it ain't going to happen, man. This shit ain't going to happen. Look, Boots too dangerous right now, bro. It's too dangerous. Look, the division has caught up with Errol Spence. I know he said he wanted to unify this division, but when you have Boots on deck and you have Virgil Ortiz is lurking out there, it's a crucial decision you have to make. Both of those fights are extremely tough. I would say more so Ennis with his boxing and his movement when it comes to somebody like Errol Spence. Virgil Ortiz, he likes to stand and bang sometime, and he's able to get touched just like Spence is able to get touched. So I would say, A would be, the tougher fight would be Boots Ennis. And then the B fight would be Virgil Ortiz. But how did y'all think that performance was in a short amount of time? It happened. It was dominating, right? Even though Thomas Delorme is coming off a 2-fight losing streak, they still look at Boots' performance as stopping Thomas Delorme quicker than anybody else has done it. It's always show and tell in this boxing game. He did it better than anybody. That's not the first time Delorme has been stopped, but it's the fact that he was stopped in the first round expeditiously, immediate. FedEx, overdone with, get the package, no signature required. Unfortunately, post-fight, everything Boots Ennis said sounded good. Not to mention Blair Cobb trying to get his cameo appearance. Look, I'm not trying to laugh at Blair Cobb, for real. Blair come up there looking like an actor named Blair Cobb. You know what I'm saying? Like, does Cobb really believe that he wants Ennis freaking smoke right now? I don't think so. Aaron Jones on deck. What's good? What up, WCS? 11 first round stoppages. Yes, sir. Talk to him there, sir. Senior. 11 first round stoppages. The Hall of Famer Jim Gray mentioned that at the post-fight interview. It's good to put the accolades out there. But I must say this, sir, Senior, everybody who's listening. Boots Ennis' resume. I said it for Devin Haney. I said it for other people, and other voices are going to say the same thing. Boots Ennis' resume is still on the building. It's in the building stages. Don't act like he has multiple killers on his record. He may have 11 first-round stoppages, but let's be honest with ourselves, man. Like, come on, Sergey Lipinets, 140-pounder. Thomas Delorme, 140-pounder. I mean, we need to keep this a hondo. We need to keep it authentic. His resume is still in the building phases. His name is much bigger than his resume. I repeat, Boots Ennis' name is buzzing out here more than his resume is buzzing. His resume don't have no fire to it right now. We got to keep this shit for real. It doesn't have fire to it. But his performances, in addition to who he is, his name, Boots Ennis, his shit is out here with energy. because they see this dude. Like, it's funny how some people can go in there and look good against subpar competition, right? And then people look at it and say, you know, he looked good against that person. But with Boots Ennis, you see his all-around skill set, and you say, damn, that dude can box. You know, that cat can box right there. He can freaking box. You know, he has speed, he has good movement, and from what I understand, he has power, of course. Why I'm saying he has power is that so far up to this point, he's been able to, you know, get the stoppages in where he see fit. You know, so he has some power in there. I don't like to compare Edgar Berlanga, but we've seen fighters out here with power, and then when they increase their competition, you know, they may go the distance, or they may have a tougher time with a fighter that's able to, a boxer that's able to move, and they also have pretty decent punching power themselves. But I will commend Boots and salute to going in there, getting the job done, calling out Errol Spence, which is a big name at welterweight division. He is a unified champion, the WBC and IBF welterweight world champion. But yet his career is taken once again an installment period where in his 30s, Errol Spence, you know, coming off that accident, now eye injury, he really needs to make a move right now because the young lions, the cages are open. These young lions are out the cage in the welterweight division. And I said this shit a while ago. I said it's going to be the changing of the guard in the welterweight division soon enough. You saw them young lions way off in the distance. Now these motherfuckers on your doorstep. They here now. They've defeated some okay name opponents. They get them enough Wall Street to come up here and get put up, to come up here and have a better standing in the ranking system. You heard Boots Ennis say where he was ranked in the IBF. So that's why he want Errol Spence. The bigger question is, will Errol Spence even take the fight? I'm going to call it, I think it's an empty clip. You know, even though he called out Errol Spence, I don't see it doing anything except being a blank. It ain't no rounds in the clip, shawty. That ain't going nowhere. I'll be highly, highly impressed if Errol Spence take this shot with Boots Ennis, knowing that he said he wanted to unify the welterweight division. I'll be highly impressed. If he comes off an eye injury and say, you know what, in 2022, I'll fight Boots. Why not? I'll be highly impressed. I'll say, damn, you know, but I'm thinking to myself, I don't think Errol Spence is going to take that nod. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to step up to the plate to fight. I don't even want to call Boots a hungry lion, though. You know what I'm saying? Boots in, he showed up on the same man doing work. And you got to compare who did it better, Virgil Ortiz or Boots Ennis. You know what I'm saying? Who made the bigger splash? Once again, I still have to give the edge to Virgil Ortiz in a sense. You know, the little adversity he went through, him willing to go through the fire and come out that month. I learned a lot more from Virgil Ortiz than I did from Jerome Ennis, because Jerome Ennis is he's just cleaning. You know, he's sanitizing the area. He's showing how vicious he is, man. He's all around boxer, but no one has really tested him yet. Virgil Ortiz has placed himself in positions where he's been tested. He's been hurt. He's taking punches. He's giving punches. And at the end of the fight, he said, I want so-and-so. I don't care what you think you saw. I don't care what you saw. If I got hit, I got hit. It's boxing. I want to fight so-and-so right now. Let me fight him. Let's go. That's why I like both of these guys, man. But It's funny. Virgil Ortiz has given us more action, more entertainment. To me, he gave us more entertainment, more climax when it comes to these young up and coming fighters stepping in there and going through the storm a little bit. But then you got Jerome Ennis. He's just making it look so easy. And that's scary for even Terrence Crawford. Because I don't know who's going to pick up on Ennis first. Will it be Spence or Crawford? I know they're trying to throw your Dennis Ugas in some BS tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like it's pickup basketball. And they just come up with this damn tournament-based shit. I don't know why they're trying to do my man Ugas like that, but I guess they have their reasoning. Delorme was a step back from Lipinets. In my opinion, Ennis handled his business, though. Mitch, I absolutely 100% agree with you on a step back from Lipinets. Because Lipinets had one loss stepping in there with Jerome Boots Ennis. Absolutely, I agree. Delorme has stepped in there with some bigger names in the past and lost. He has lost to Terrence Crawford. He's lost to Dennis Ugas. You know what I'm saying? And he has been stopped early in his career. Even though Mikey Garcia knocked down Sergey Lipinets at 140, I think in the 7th round, he still finished the fight. He was pushing the pace on Mikey. He had Mikey boxing off the back foot. He was touching him up. It was a good fight. So if you want to give stock to who, Sergey Lipinets being the former junior welterweight champion, right? And then you talking about Delorme, who was chasing the belt, period. He had a couple of times to fight for a vacant title. He's almost like Sean Porter to me without winning one championship. You know what I'm saying? Like Sean Porter's lost the big names. And Thomas Delorme, when he had his opportunity, he has lost to some big names. Terrence Crawford is a champion. Dennis Ugas is a champion right now. And then, going in there, losing to Jamal James and Stanionis, I mean, that was your time to shine right there. And now you just took an L in the first round to Boots Ennis. Totally agree with Mitch just said. Shouts to Blair, the Flair Cobbs. Blair, man, he has, he has this persona, but man, he gets no shine except he stepped to Boots Ennis for at least about 10 minutes and tried to bait him in a big fight that will benefit Blair Cobbs more than Boots Ennis. Because we've seen Blair Cobbs on the deck, right? I could have sworn, we've seen him in trouble. Like, he has the nice little, what was that singer name back in the day? What was that brother name that had hair like Blair Cobbs? R&B singer. Anyway, Devin Blocker on deck, man. What's good? Right now, Virgil Ortiz is better fight for Errol Spence. Financially speaking, that fight is big business in Texas. Once again, I truly link up with you on that, all right? Because you're talking about home-based fighters, 2 Texans, making it happen. Backyard once again for Spence. He's been trying to make as much money as he possibly can in Texas. Plus, stylistically, Ortiz is a better fight for Errol Spence. Yes, sir. Because both of them are going to stand right there in the pocket at certain areas, certain pockets, certain moments in the fight, and they're going to trade. They're going to have some very violent exchanges. And it's going to be a test of will and who's more resilient. But with Boots Ennis, I truly believe that he will be tested a little bit in the fight with Errol Spence, but his fighting style provides me more Wall Street for him to go in there and have much more success against Errol Spence with his boxing. He's young, Man, this dude ain't playing around. He has pretty decent, respectable punching power, dog. Um, I would be surprised, like I said, if Errol Spence accepts this fight. For real. I would be highly surprised, man. Like, I'm hearing some sparring, from Boots Ennis. Like, I heard it from I heard it sparring the tales of the dark side from Boots ain't no joke. From individuals who was there, who was in there with, he's no joke. Like Boots Ennis said yesterday to Blair Cobbs, it's levels. His pops say, we on a whole nother level. I get it, bro. It is levels. But you can't blame the lion pup for coming up to the lion who growing his mane right now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, put me in there. Let's go. Blair Cobbs are not sure he can beat. No, he can't do it. He's just trying to get some shine. But the primary hitters in welterweight right now, the challenge, the season lines, absolutely Virgil Ortiz and Jerome Ennis. Absolutely. Jerome Ennis has to improve his boxing resume with 28 professional wins. Let's be honest with ourselves. His resume is not no way, shape, or form impressive. It's not, bro. It's not impressive, man. You know that. I know that. His name has more buzz than his resume. Real talk. The only undefeated fighter that Boots Ennis has on his resume is Armando Alvarez. That was back in 2018. That's the only undefeated fighter when it comes down to it. I know O's don't mean too much to certain people. He has some fighters on his resume with 1 loss here, 2 losses there. People always go back to, the Chris Van Herden. They would have liked to seen him fight, more rounds in that contest, but it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So when he fought Sergey Lipinets and stopped him in the 6th, that was good shit. But once again, Lipinets is coming from a lower division. Was he absolutely acclimated as a true welterweight? I mean, it is what it is, man. He got outboxed, and Boots got the job done, period. But I totally agree with what Mitch said about Delorme being a step down from Lipinets. Absolutely. Absolutely. Delorme has tried to fight for a title. Lipinets was the former champion at a different weight class. But I feel that Lipinets, in my opinion, gave more of an effort. He was a tough fighter. He just didn't have enough for Boots Ennis, man. L Dub on deck. What's good? Votes UK on deck. How you feeling, bro? Devin Block on deck. Right now, Virgil Ortiz is a better fight. Read that already. Vote Spence been at 47 too long personally. 154 is overdue. So let me ask you this, Votes. How are you saying that Spence been at welterweight too long? He only really has 9 professional fights at welterweight, bro. He hasn't been at welterweight that long. He just was kicking rocks back and forth between welterweight and super welterweight. I said this several times already. Spence started off his career at 154 and then dropped down and went back up and dropped down and went back up. You know what I'm saying? He was doing the 2-step most of his freaking career. And then he decided to settle down. He decided to settle down and fight consistently at 47. Look it up. Look up BoxRec. Tell me if I'm capping. If they won't sign the contract with Boots, that's Boots' fault. Who is they? If they won't sign the contract with Boots, that's Boots' fault. Are you talking about with Errol Spence or Blair Cobb? Devin say hit the like button. Appreciate you, bro. Ennis did what he was supposed to do, but we have to keep it 100. Thomas Delorme is trash. 4-5-1 last 10 fights. Boots still need to step it up. Talk to him, Tyrone, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Speak to him. Speak to the people. Man, people, look, we have fair weather boxing fans out here. They'll be quick to jump on Boots Ennis' wagon right now. I understand. You know, he's a likable guy, bro. Everything about Boots Ennis in the boxing game, he's a likable guy, right? You know, it's a lot to like about an upcoming boxer like Boots Ennis that can give you that boxing package that you've been looking for, the speed, the power, the movement. You know what I'm saying? But just like Tyrone just said, what is his freaking resume? His resume is nothing that is so-called respected to the hardcore boxing fans. You can't respect his record, but he did what a lot of boxers do. He built up his resume. I respect him for building up his boxing resume and being 28-0. 28 victories and 26 knockouts. Come on, man. So therefore, he's not the first one to build up his resume with names. Boxing allows individuals to get off the couch and become boxers. Once again, I'm speaking from attending amateur fights, you know, being in this sport for quite some time. I've seen it. I've seen cats get off the couch, come to a weigh-in, and they outside smoking, waiting for their ride back to the hotel. They never had a fight in their life. But you know what? When the fighter who steps in there with them, their opposition, and they beat them, they knock them out. They jumping all up on the ropes. Because let me tell you another secret about boxing. You put some trunks and glove on a fighter, and it's their debut. Nobody truly knows what they was doing before they stepped in the ring. They didn't know they was outside smoking. So that's why you're going to have some canned goods on these boxers' records. So when they knock them out, they jumping all over the rope. I commend the Ennis team for building him up, and he's 24 years old with 28 professional fights right now. But we got to call it the way it is, man. For real. Two people made two solid points. Tyrone said 4-5-1. Come on, man. That's real talk. And Mitch said the Lorme was a step down from Lipinets. That's facts. That's facts, bro. That's absolutely facts. I understand the bum ass side of the street theory, but I hate how Ennis and Ortiz are allowed to subsequently dodge each other. That would be a good fight, wouldn't it? That would be a good fight. But we know money, politics has been a thorn bush in boxing. Some people are able to get past it without bleeding out, and others just lay in the briar patch. Real talk. It's cats to just step up in that motherfucker and they stumble and it's a wrap. It's almost like giving a cactus a hug. It's no different. Boxing has its politics. Some boxers are able to get to the damn prize quicker than others without even freaking getting a scratch on them. But you think boxing and the promoters, and the matchmakers or whatever, the managers is going to have Virgil Ortiz and Jerome Ennis cross paths right now? Hell no. Somebody will take that L. And you know the crazy thing about it, if these two fighters take a L right now, it's not going to do too much to their career. Like they still going to be in the hunt. Just look at the way Danny Garcia hangs around. Look at the way Sean Porter hangs around. This is the new generation of welterweight division. The Crawfords, the Errol Spence, even the Yordenis Ugas is on their way out. We don't know what the fuck Keith Thurman got going on. But the new breed of fighters, the new generation of fighters, the new guard is already on deck at welterweight. It's already on deck, man. I'm talking about the ones who are ranked. The ones who are ranked in the top 10. Andrew on deck, man. How you feeling, bro? Said WCS salute. I agree. Big money in Texas, man. Yeah, Texas. Shout out to Texas, man. They doing what ATL is trying to get to right now. You know, ATL, we trying to grow our boxing scene and have these big fights down here, and right now it's thriving. It's being hydrated, but it's still not enough, man. We have a ways to go before we even think about linking up with Texas. And plus, they have Jerry World up there in Frisco and shit like that. Ennis and Ortiz will dodge one another until one picks up a belt. Yeah, and look, who's to say that the proving grounds will be met if one of them pick up a belt? Like, will they accept the challenge of the other when they pick up a belt, or will we go through the same soap opera that's going on with Spence ducking Terrence Crawford? Man, don't try to come for me, man. I'm just saying. I'm still waiting on my boy Bud to get that shot. And Bud, he ain't worried about it. You looked at the Last Stand podcast a couple of days ago. He ain't worried about Errol. The same way Spence and Crawford are on a different level from Ennis, Thurman, and Porter as well. Ennis is live against any welterweight, though. I agree, but shall we insert Thurman in there? Because we just don't know what Thurman has going on right now. Like the only notifications that we receive from Thurman is that he potentially may be in talks with people. Like, we don't even know if the shit's really gonna pop. Like, Manny Pacquiao was able to lift the belt, but what has Keith Thurman? What's next, bro? At one point in time, this conversation, including his name in the welterweight mix-up, would be relevant. But since him ducking Errol Spence and losing to Pacquiao and all that other shit, I mean, I don't even know if he has the hunger to box. He has a good mouthpiece whenever he gets in front of the camera. But what is he up to, bro? Like, after Crawford goes in here and knocks out Sean Porter, shit, put Thurman in there with Crawford. It's a good fight. Because look, I'm going to be honest with you. Get mad all you want. But in Texas, them dudes be holding grudges, man, when it comes to boxing. Errol Spence is doing the same thing the Charlo brothers doing with Demetrius Andrade. They holding grudges, man. Ever since Keith Thurman wouldn't acknowledge Errol Spence calling him out, he don't want to give Keith Thurman a shot. Then you go up to the Charlos, same shit. Oh, he did this way back when. And then Jim Gray asked him, well, that's been several years ago. Do you believe it's time that, since he is a current reigning defending WBO champion, isn't it time to give him a shot? You know what I'm saying? And who was it with? Was it with Maul or was it with Mel? And Maul, if it wasn't with you, shouldn't you have a little bit more forgiveness to give this man you know what I'm saying? Come on, get over it, bro. Get the fuck over it, dog. Ennis was on his way to stopping Van Heerden faster than Lipinets, though. Man, he gets no credit for that shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? Headbutting Billy, goddammit. Ortiz and Spence are big business outside of Texas. Black versus Latino Texas would maximize business, though. Ortiz and Spence are big business outside of Texas. I don't know. I don't know about that. Check this out, though. How is that to be proven, though? I'm about to bring up something for you. How is that true? What are you basing that off of? That he's big business outside of Texas? Because some of his bigger fights has been in Texas. What are we talking about? He steps outside of Texas to fight Sean Porter. It wasn't no extremely high numbers to support Errol Spence is that guy, that boxer that sells outside of Texas just because he stepped into the Staples Center. Who has he fought big? Let me share this for you right quick. Appreciate the input from everybody, man. Check this out. Check this out, right? Look, let's go down here to the Barclays. The Barclays, Lamont Peterson. That was 2018. Matter of fact, let me go back to the guy earlier about, he's been in welterweight too long. This is his first fight to consider him a welterweight. What does that say? 146 and a half. What does this say? 154, 152, 146. He wasn't consistent at welterweight. I just want to, get this boxing talk out the way, right? So no, from now on, Alejandro Barrera was really where his starting point was.
Smart things on. Team Sam.
So Alejandro Barrera was actually his starting point to campaign as a welterweight. And then you look at the Chris Algieri, Leonard Bondu, Kell Brook, Lamont Peterson, and so forth. Now transitioning back to him being a big sale outside of Texas. We all know he went in the backyard of Kell Brook. That has nothing to do with outside of Texas. He went to the Barclays for Lamont Peterson. But his bigger names, okay, outside of Carlos Ocampo, right? It was a big attraction, but Carlos Ocampo was a guy that just came out of nowhere, and he came and went and got knocked out in the first round. No one really know, but that was at the Ford Center, Frisco. And then Arlington, Mikey Garcia. And then he stepped out Sean Porter. Sean Porter dancing with Errol Spence, which made it a pretty damn good fight. You know what I'm saying? And then Danny Garcia, he's back in Texas. So, how many times he's fought top tier names outside of Texas to establish his worth, to establish how relevant Errol Spence is outside of his backyard. He's trying to get that Texas money. I don't blame him, man. Do what you want to do. He's trying to get that Texas money, man. He's trying to get that Texas money. I ain't mad at him, shawty. It's not Boots' fault if they don't sign the contract. Can't make guys fight. Also can't blame Ennis if they don't want to fight. He's going to run into that problem in the welterweight division. It depends on how long the current champions continue to stay there. Now check this out. Politics may play a role any way you look at it with these names right here. But it's a lot of money to be made, but also it's according to who they want to make money with. It's a lot of money to be made, but it's all about who they want to make money with. Really. It's a very selective process. It's not just say, okay, what fits our conversation of the best fighting the best. If boxing was like that, then we would be on a whole nother level of acceptance to say, damn, I love being a boxing fan. But that's what discouraged a lot of us because the best don't fight the best. It's a court when Boots Ennis get to where he's a title holder, then we'll see who wants to go in there and fight him. We'll see what the politics are. I don't see Terrence Crawford being a welterweight extremely a long time after, in the next couple of years. I don't see him being there. I really don't see Spence holding down the welterweight division that long. I don't believe Spence will ever unify the entire welterweight division. It's a waste of freaking time, if you ask me. The way they doing Udenis Ugas, Spence not able to come, man, it's bullshit, dog. Free Hoover on deck, man. How you feeling? What's good, bro? Lipinets and Delorme are super lightweights. Lipinets said Ennis showed him that he belongs back at 140. Yeah, man, you get woke up going in there. Jerome Ennis being the bigger fighter. Once again, Delorme and Lipinets are from that super lightweight division. They both had different success down there, but they still not true motherfucking welterweights. Period. They're not true welterweights, man. And Lipinets telling you the truth, man. I think he took that beating, boy. Goddamn, he was being fed them painkillers, huh? Boots in his punches was numbing his ass up real nice. I just hope Boots don't turn into a diva with that big fish talk like you know who. It will happen. I said, look, you didn't see it happen with Blair Cobbs? That is a beginning, bro. Listen to me when I'm telling you, Hoover. We seen it already last night with Blair Cobbs, man. We seen a taste of them saying we on a whole nother level. We on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? And then after, everybody want to say that, repeat what Canelo said, like that shit is new language. Oh, payday. You want a payday. You want a payday. Of course. Of course I want a payday. I want the opportunity and I want the payday. Of course I do, man. Of course I do. What the hell are you talking about? Boots Ennis is going to beat out, man. Yeah, I see it already. And it's just big time Blair and Flair Cobb is better than Delorme. He doesn't have any selling power right now, though. How much stock in the game do Blair have? I don't know, man. Heard Thurman versus Castillo Clayton is in the works. Want to fight Boots, man. If that, I would like to see that. I mean, I would like to see it, man. That's all. It's hard to even talk about Thurman because that motherfucker dip in and dip out like David Copperfield. This is boxing, not the greatest show on earth. Bud and one time is a good scrap. I don't know, man. To some people, because both of them can box, yeah, but when have we seen Thurman in there with a pretty decent performance? Like he let an old ass guy like Pacquiao take his strap. From what I understand, he was eating ice cream before the fight. He was in the casinos and shit. Is his focus still where it should be to step in there with a killer like Crawford? Is his focus still there though? That's all I want to know, big dog. That's all I want to know, man. Thurman a good scrap for anyone in the division. I don't believe that. Cause look what happened to the fighter who took his belt. Look what happened. He was out for a couple of years and he comes back and get defeated by Udinese Ugas, who received his straps via SMTP email. And he goes in there and fights a couple of times. He looked his best against Sean Porter, but he goes in there and gets a legitimate, validated win against Pacquiao. But Pacquiao's old. His legs was heavy. My shoulder, my blade, my spinal, my MCL, PCL, ACL, my right ankle. I mean, come on, man. Cowboy Stadium, big business. Absolutely. That's big business. And that's the market that Errol Spence was trying to take advantage of over there. But things happen, man. Like he had the accident and now he had the eye injury. So let's see how that works, man. Lord Sweat on deck. Salute to you. Appreciate you pulling up. WCS, much respect and blessings. Great work you're doing. Be More USA. For sure, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Real talk. Salute. Spence and Thurman situation is different than Maul and Andrade. Here we go. Okay, explain. Do tell. If Thurman had a belt to unify, I think Spence would fight him. Who say? Who say? Who say that? One more again. Who? They being petty there, Mitch. He's being petty for quite some time. And you know why he's being petty? Because that time when he was in front of the lens and you know, he probably went back and looked at that same telecast and he's seen how Thurman was freaking ignoring him, dog. He was avoiding him. He wasn't even acknowledging his presence, calling him out. And then one time he said on Showtime, he said, yeah, I seen that boy. I seen that boy. He was coming up. I said, that boy gonna be something special. Come on, man. It's disrespectful, dog. Mitch, you know that shit. You think just because if Thurman would have had a belt, right? Just to say he still had the WBA title. How would they link up, though? Like, how would they link up? Who would give in first? If Thurman is calling him out as the former unified champion, the former unified champion is calling out the unified champion. And the unified champion is being extremely petty, pouty about not being acknowledged when he was calling out the unified champion that had only one belt at the time. You mad because the former unified champion did not grace you with his presence and acknowledge you and respond. You mad. That's that Texas water to some of them cats. We all know the Andrade situation is different, but still at the end of the day, should you continue to hold on to shit? Like, you want to get paid or not? So why don't you give Thurman the motherfucking shot? He was unified just like you. You ain't did nothing more than Thurman. Real talk. What has he done? At least Thurman stepped in there with Pacquiao, people. Errol Spence don't have no Pacquiao on his record. Come on, man. He was fighting Keith Thurman's recycled opponents. He fought Danny Garcia. He fought Sean Porter. Should we go on? Why the fuck is Errol Spence being so petty about it? The Boxing King archives on deck, man. WCS, salute, respect. I think Boots will give Spence major problems and beat Spence. Talk to him, bro. Because they try to say I'm a Spence hater. I'm not a Spence hater. I'm a Bud Crawford fan. You know, I'm also media. You know, I feel that Bud is one of the top dogs. But when I compare him and Bud Crawford, Errol Spence and Bud Crawford, I believe wholeheartedly without an ounce of doubt that Bud will defeat Errol Spence. Now, to talk about Boots, I agree with you, man. Right? You know, from what I've been looking at with Errol Spence, he seems fragmented right now. I'm telling you, from the accident, he's not the same person. Period. It don't matter how he made Danny Garcia look. Danny Garcia's style was tailor-made for somebody like Spence. It don't matter, y'all. It doesn't matter. I think Crawford can stay at welterweight until he finishes his career. He may move up to add more to his resume. He can retire welterweight if he wants. True. Crawford can. He's a 3-division, formerly undisputed 140. We know this. But why not slide up in the 154-pound division, fight for even a WBA regular or something? Fight for a title, something, so you can add a 4th division to your resume. And then you retire, you set for the Hall of Fame. Why not? Because look, Jamel ain't gonna be able to hold on to those titles for another 5 years. He'd be stupid to do that. Brian Castano, I don't know what the fuck he has going on, but I would definitely like to see him step back in there and face Jamel Charlo once more. I enjoyed that fight, but both of those guys really have to get on the move. Like, what are you going to do next to supersede what you was able to do when you was competing against each other? We need to see one more. That's all I'm saying. Logic on deck. Who is Spence fighting next? I think Thurman will be a good opponent. As I mentioned earlier, Logic, Spence was supposed to fight Ugas in February, supposedly. But they came up with this WBA Phantom motherfucking tournament. Almost reminds me of the WBC tournament that failed miserably at 135 pounds. I don't know, man. It's taking me back to the Ringley, Barnum, and Bailey circus, man. The greatest show on earth. You think you're not seeing one trick and then they put another one up. They're not pulling, look, Logic, they ain't pulling, in boxing, they're not pulling rabbits out the hat. The shit they pulling out the hat right now is more like T-Rex, Raptors, Jurassic Park shit. They pulling stuff out of the hat that you thought that never could be done the way they're treating boxing. They're not pulling rabbits out the hat no more. When you think a boxer is fighting one fighter that makes sense, somebody else come out the blue and you say, okay, damn, I didn't see that shit coming. That's boxing, man. We got the Paul brothers getting all this fucking money. We have social media sensations fighting real boxers, former world champions. You know what I'm saying? We have millionaires that's vying their way. They did a little boxing early on in their life that's getting shots at true world champions. Man, boxing's on a whole nother damn wavelength right now, bro. Thurman and Spence have the best current resume wins at welterweight. They should meet. Now, to your logic now, I'm not trying to make this about Spence, but just like I said about at welterweight, we can link up, okay? A bit. It's hard for me to give all this extreme high praise to Spence and his resume. I know a lot of people love balancing out the difference between Spence and Crawford's resume. I hear this shit all the time. But one thing, if you're going to say Crawford's resume ain't shit, he did what he was supposed to do with that ain't shit resume. He knocked their ass out. Now, for Errol Spence fighting Mikey Garcia, yeah, that O looked real good with somebody with 40 professional fights. Hoorah. Hoorah. But then we go who? Danny Garcia? Okay, Kell Brook, you have to throw him in there because he went in his backyard, okay? But these are the same people who was hyping up Kell Brook when he fought Errol Spence that dogged him out when he fought Crawford. Wasn't Kell Brook coming off an ass whooping when he stepped in there with Dan Errol Spence? It don't matter if it was a year. Was he coming off an ass whooping? He was dropping back down in weight. So what is this astounding resume that Errol Spence has at welterweight? Who is it? You want to throw Lamont Peterson in there? We can start off per se. Lamont Peterson had 3 losses when he fought Errol Spence. He was stopped in the 7th, I think. So let's go Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia goes in there, and Mikey Garcia was not ever a true welterweight. Boom, cancel him out. Okay, cancel him out. The only one out there still is Kell Brook because Kell Brook came down from a higher weight class down to 147. Let's go up to Sean Porter. Legit. So you got Kell Brook, Sean Porter. But one thing we know about Sean Porter, what? That Kell Brook had Sean Porter's belt. Then Errol Spence was able to pick up Sean Porter's old belt from Kell Brook, who currently had it, right? And then, of course, you had good old Danny Garcia, who has a very good resume in his boxing career from 40 to 47. He does. But Danny Garcia has never defeated a freaking champion at welterweight, people. He has never defeated a champion at welterweight. He fought Robert Guerrero for the vacant WBC once he decided to step up. We know Sean Porter has lost against Kell Brook, lost against Keith Thurman. Lost against Errol Spence. But he did defeat Danny Garcia, though, for the vacant. He did defeat Danny Garcia, though. We can throw Sebastian Formella. Do you think he defeated Yordenis Ugas? Okay, I gotta move on, bro. Good point. I mean, appreciate that drop there, Logic. You know, I just thought I'd elaborate. Appreciate the drop, though, bro. Yes, I think Spence will fight Keith Thurman if he still had a belt. And, you know, I say like this, I don't know, man. You know, he's being real petty. You know, like, come on, man. I know how you felt when he wouldn't acknowledge you. I know you still, you know, get those questions, but I like what Terrence Crawford said on the Last Stand podcast with Brian Custer. Shout out to Brian Custer, dog. I like what he said. He said when Errol Spence is talked about, they always bring his name into the equation. Like, he's basically injected life into Errol Spence welterweight division. I mean, welterweight notoriety. Terrence Crawford has. Just look at Fight Hub. Not Fight Hub. Is it Fight Hub? Yeah, Fight Hub. You know, he was up here, you know, asking Terrence Crawford about Errol Spence. They're trying to reignite the phantom fight of boxing. Terrence Crawford was right. Errol Spence's career notoriety in welterweight is all about them including Terrence Crawford into the conversation. Is anybody, you know, talking about him and Sean Porter anymore? Nope. Are they talking about him beating up Danny Garcia? Nope. Because the Garcia, out of the two Garcias, Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia, the Garcia that shouldn't have got his ass whooped looked worse than the Garcia that was stepping up for the first time. Yeah, I agree. Errol damaged goods at this point. I believe he's not the same, bro. 4YT on deck. Salute, man. He say salute WCS. Salute to you, bro. Well, this second topic is gonna be a hitter. I'm telling you, some people gonna get their feelings all, you know, wound up when we start talking about this Devin Haney or Isaac Cruz situation, potentially fighting Javonte. And we gotta definitely talk about Rolando Romero. Yes, indeed. Bud fan and Spence hater is damn near the same thing these days. The lines are blurred. Man, hey, I can't say you're lying. I can't say you're lying. It's the same thing with Wilder, you know. But check this out, though. They'll get over it. All these guys are slowing down, in my opinion. Crawford, Spence, Thurman, Porter, Mikey, and especially Danny Garcia. They all look better previously. Spence is an ascension from his accident, though. He's a dissension, in my opinion. I don't think he's the same, man. I don't think he's the same. Look, you're talking about somebody who raced motorcycles. Like in high school, I learned how to do this shit. I've had accidents with the helmet on. I've seen people with helmets hit the concrete and die. Right? They had a helmet on. A helmet. Errol Spence hit the pavement with no helmet, no protective gear at high speeds from a sports car. It's only so much impact your brain can take. The tissue damage that he probably had in his brain. You can't sit up here and tell me, well, I don't know if a lot of y'all go back to the time that Errol Spence sent out that first tweet. He said, "No broken bones, I'm a savage." Come on now. Do your research, bro. Do your research. He may not have had broken bones, but his head showed the signs of him hitting that slab of pavement. Internal to that, you have to look at the damage that potentially may have been done to soft tissue and also his cranial cap, you know, his brain, the swelling, whatever. It'll all come out in 4 or 5 years from now. 3 to 5 years. Watch what I tell you, man. A solid point, man. Hoover, Spence versus Ocampo too. Don't do that. Don't do that, Hoover. Don't do that, man. Come on, man. Don't do that. Nobody in their right mind. I don't care if the fight was free. You know what I'm saying? And they was giving that in front of a Target parking lot, a Walmart. It still wouldn't sell out. They might come up there and Spence be like, hey, Spence, can you get an autograph? And Spence doing his ring walk. Man, why I'm thinking, why I'm gonna do an autograph? I'm about to go fight, man. I mean, you ain't fighting no motherfucking body, dog. You can knock that dude out from the parking lot. Give me an autograph and a pic right quick. Don't nobody know who that dude is. He was back at the ground floor after that horrific accident. No, man, I'm like, it's hard to say how much damage he took, but it was bad. It was bad, dog. Agree, Brooke damaged goods, but still gave Spence some credit for going to Brooke's hometown to take the title. Yes, I even give Spence credit for that, for venturing over there in the backyard of Kell Brook. I give him ultimate respect and salute for that. But also, we have to understand that Gennady Golovkin did serious damage to the right side of Kell Brook. Errol Spence did significant damage to the left side of Kell Brook orbital structure. So therefore, he was damaged goods to me. Even though he came and dropped back down, boom. He lost his title. What did he do from then? Didn't he take 3 fights at 154? Right? Before he stepped back down to Terrence Crawford? Terrence went in there and stopped him in 4 rounds. I mean, what should we say about that? I mean, Terrence Crawford stopped him in 4 rounds. Errol Spence stopped him in 11th. Who did it better? You know, Errol Spence went life and limb with Kell Brook. Life and limb. Points taken. Who do you believe has current best win resume? Welterweight. Danny Garcia's resume is pretty damn good. I ain't gonna lie. Danny Garcia's resume is pretty damn good. Danny Garcia, check this out. He has Lucas Matisse. Oh, you said at welterweight. Yeah, you said at welterweight. Well, at welterweight, you know, Danny Garcia has Errol Spence. Of course, he got his ass beat. Adrian Granados, but Adrian Granados, man, I can only say with, you know, he's been in there with some top names. He has, man. Even though Danny Garcia finally stopped him, you know, he's been in there life and limb with Sean Porter. You know, it's some people that Adrian Granados has been in there with. You just shake your head. He made Javier for that fight. They was fighting on the undercard of Spence Ocampo. He made Javier Fortuna quit. He wanted them to be all theatrical. You know, you had Brandon Rios, which a lot of people is not going to give him credit too much for that shit. You know, of course, Keith Thurman. Samuel Vargas, and then he, you know, that's the one when he fought Robert Guerrero for the vacant. And he has Paulie Malignaggi, former world champion, at 47. Pretty good names on his resume. You know what I'm saying? So he has pretty decent names, Danny Garcia. You know? I don't, you know, once again, if we look at Spence, man, he has 2 Garcias. Exclude, that was his first fight at 47. Do away with it. Do away with Carlos Ocampo. If we really want to be respectful, we can say Lamont Peterson. Okay, we can say Lamont Peterson, but a lot of people say Lamont Peterson because he's a good dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a good dude, and he was on a 2-fight winning streak before he stepped in there with Spence. You know, but Sean Porter, man, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Kell Brook, who has the title. I mean, his shit is very shallow, dog. I don't want to hear no Chris Algieri. I don't want to hear none of that shit that people don't talk about in their daily boxing content. I don't want to hear it. So if I want, I can say Kell Brook, Lamont Peterson, Sean Porter, and Danny Garcia. Don't come to me talking about Mikey Garcia, who's a 4-division champ, when he never really at all fought at 47. The same criticism I'm giving Boots Ennis fighting 140 pounders is the same criticism I give Errol Spence for stepping in there with Mikey Garcia in his first fight at welterweight. But good question, bro. Good question, bro. Points taken. Who do you believe has current best? Don't understand why Heyman didn't tell Errol to stay away from Yellow Beezy. Man, I don't get into the hip-hop scene. All these artists that has passed away and people doing vids on them, post-humans, what they call it? Post-humans, when you die, and people talking about like the Pop Smoke, the MO3, FDG Duck. Man, the list goes on and on, man. These guys just disappearing, like getting shot. And then we just had another previous drug dealer. What's his name? Drive-by shooting. You know what I'm saying? I don't really get into hip-hop shit, but listen to it, but I don't really get into, promoters telling you need to leave Yellow Beezy alone. I mean, that's his boy. It's on him, baby. It's on Spence, baby. It's on him for real to make that decision. Ain't on me, baby. It's on him, baby. Sean Porter has the best resume at welterweight. Oh my God. Sean Porter. Okay, Sean Porter. He's set to get KO'd by Terrence Crawford. That's coming up. Hot and heavy. So Sean Porter goes the distance with Sebastian Formella. We exclude him. He has Errol Spence. All right. We give him Errol Spence. Many say, he was in a tough fight and considerably could have lost that split decision to Yordenis Ugas. So we'll give Errol Spence, Yordenis Ugas a check mark. Danny Garcia, a check mark. Okay, this is where it gets a little crazy. Adrian Granados. You know what I'm saying? Andre Berto. Then you got Keith Thurman. AB. Let's say Kell Brook in a losing effort. Paulie Malignaggi. Devin Alexander. Sean Porter's put in work. Consistent work at 47. So let me count this up right quick. This is another guy who fought at a higher weight in the AMs and also in his boxing career. He wasn't fighting at 47. He was fighting at 47 and 54. So once again, I remember going through this a ways back. Check this out, though. Sean Porter has 13 fights at welterweight. 13 fights. And it's important for people to look at some of these fighters who fight at a heavier weight in the AMs and come over here and they really don't know what weight class they want to fight. But I can agree with you on welterweight that Sean Porter has the best resume at welterweight right now. True facts. But you know what, Mitch? I salute you for bringing that up because a lot of people just say Errol Spence, Errol Spence, Errol Spence. Errol Spence, like I said, has about 9 fights. And then Sean Porter has about 4 more than Errol Spence at welterweight. But Sean Porter, in my opinion, does have better names on his list at welterweight. He absolutely do. Now, I'm not saying he never fought at welterweight prior to, but I can look at who he actually started his welterweight career at. I'm talking about outside of the super welterweight fight, where he consistently start fighting welterweight. Okay, that's probably at Julio Diaz. I would say Julio Diaz. That's when he consistently started fighting welterweight. Not 150, not 153, not fighting 153 and then 2 fights at welterweight and then jump back up to a higher weight class. We're talking about straight up welterweight. Straight up welterweight, y'all. Stop blaming Yellow Beezy. He ain't got shit to do with anything. For real, man. I agree. Yellow Beezy, he's just out there singing and shit. 4YT say Alpo got killed. Yeah, Alpo got killed this morning. That's who it was. Alpo got killed this morning, man. He was a, drug dealer back in the day, this, that, and the other. He has his paperwork, but man, in the streets, a different breed. That shit don't expire. You might have got at somebody way back 15 years ago. And while you're comfortable in your old age, they come back and get you. If they ain't able to come back and get you, somebody who know them come back. Appreciate that 4YT. Porter fought everyone except Pac-Man. Really. Yeah. He did. But, where does that put him as welterweight, though? He's only been a 2-time world champion. So being that he has that distinguished resume, why hasn't he tried to move back up? Because you're talking about somebody who gets accolades, right, for fighting at a higher weight class in the AMs. You know what I'm saying? People always want to talk about Alexander Usyk. They give him accolades for fighting at a heavy weight class, but yet he's been here at welterweight. He's a 2-time world champion. What's next? Is this a Hall of Fame career that Shawn Porter's had? Is it a Hall of Fame career, though? I mean, just look at it. He beat Paulie Malignaggi. Is it a Hall of Fame career? Devin Alexander. Is it a Hall of Fame career? We don't know, man. Biggie on deck. What's good? Boots needs to be humble because Spence. To be humble because Spence. I'm not sure what you mean. Boots need to be humble because of Spence. Let me say this there, Biggie. Humble don't get you a paycheck. I really don't know what people be talking about when you say humble, humble, humble. Why everybody got to be humble? You glorify Muhammad Ali for trash talking, being one of the best in the game, but you pick and choose what fighters you want to be humble. Boxing is not a humble sport. Boxing is a brutal freaking full contact sport, man. That's why they call it the hurt business. Why do a fighter need to be humble? Talk your shit, man, long as you back it up in the ring. I think he said that Boots is going to body Spence. Yeah, a lot of people think that Boots is going to come in there and body Spence. Apple had to be asking for it. He was in a witness protection and went back to Harlem. Hey, I said I wasn't going to get into it. I know. I remember the day he showed up. I remember the day he showed up. Like, I surfed the motherfucker too, sometime with a longboard. I surfed this media wave, right? I remember the day he came back to the hood. And people was like, Apple, he back. He was riding a motorcycle and shit. I was like, damn, that dude must have cojones on him to return back to the hood after people are saying that you was in there talking. And who you used to be back in the day and witness protection and all this other shit. And then to return back to the hood and think it's all cool. Like, this was before 6ix9ine. Like, it ain't like, man, I'm not getting that. It's a boxing topic. I ain't fucking with that, dog. I ain't fucking with it. I look at resume in totality. Wins and losses are considered. As long as the fighter doesn't get stopped, I'm looking at names and number of fights when discussing resumes. Okay, I feel you on that. But I look at the names of who they fought and who their opponents that we're trying to big them up has fought to a point. I look at their record also, but I also look at who that opponent has fought. Because let's just say, for instance, an O looks very good on certain people's record. It's good to have them O's. You know, you fight the opponent and they was undefeated. Like Mikey Garcia fought Errol Spence, he was undefeated. But the fucked up thing about Mikey Garcia was that he never had a previous fight at welterweight. So, Kell Brook. All right. When Kell Brook stepped in there against Sean Porter, Kell Brook was undefeated. But Kell Brook, on Sean Porter's record, is on the wrong side because Sean Porter lost a majority decision. Right? And then he steps in there with a lightweight in Adrian Bronner. You know what I'm saying? He steps in there with a lightweight in Adrian Bronner. He washes him. You know, it was a lopsided fight, 118, 108. And some had it 114, 112, 115, 111. And then you step in here with Keith Thurman, who's more respected out of anything. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman was a current WBA world welterweight champion, undefeated. Sean Porter came up on the losing side of that, but he fought him. Andre Bertel, you know, he stopped him in the ninth, moving on. Adrian Granados had 5 losses. So I look at who they fought and what their record looked like. Tough fighter, Adrian Granados, but it stops there. And then Danny Garcia, of course, had 1 loss when he fought Sean Porter. 1 loss, man. We all know who that loss came to. So you got to give Danny Garcia the respect for being on, you know, the Sean Porter fought Danny Garcia with 1 loss. And then Yordenis Ugas had 3 losses heading in there with Sean Porter. But we all know how that is. You know what I'm saying? We all know how that is. You know, Yordenis Ugas had 3 losses fighting Sean Porter, and he lost a split decision, which some of us think Yordenis Ugas won that fight. And of course, Errol Spence, damn good fight, potential fight of the year. Errol Spence undefeated. He lost again. But hey, I credit Sean Porter for doing what he do. And he went in there and danced around with Sebastian Formella and didn't even try to knock old boy out. Now he's going in there with a beast in Terrence Crawford, who's 37-0, and potentially may be the first fighter to stop Sean Porter. It's not too far. It's not too far-fetched, people. Boots don't want no smoke with Errol because Errol is a killer. Biggie, stop. Stop it. When has Errol been a killer, bro? Stop it, Biggie. Baby. When has Errol been a killer, man? When has Errol Spence been a killer? You know what? Since I have time, let me please share once again Errol Spence's box rec, because I just want to get past this, and then I want to talk about this damn I can't even call it a triangle theory. Is it a triangle theory? I don't know. We have to figure it out. Is this next topic a triangle theory? But hey, here you go. Errol Spence, okay. The truth. So check this out though. Killer. When you say killer, they're Biggie. Did he kill Danny Garcia? I know Danny Garcia looked like he was damn near close to being on a ventilator. He got his ass beat. But what does that say right here? Unanimous decision. If he wasn't for the 11th round knockdown, he won via split decision. Is that killer? 2020, 2019. Let's go to March 2019. He fought Mikey Garcia, a welterweight. a welterweight for 1 day. UD, he went the distance. Carlos Ocampo, we cannot say anything more than that. That's what he was supposed to do, knock his ass out. Lamont Peterson, he stopped him. Look at the opponents where he was having all this success. Look at it, all these TKOs. But once he got to the real, true, legitimate contenders, where's the killing? Where's the killing fields at? Did he kill Kell Brook? Yeah, he did some damage to Kell Brook, but damn, goddamn Gennady did it to the other side. Where is it? He didn't kill Sean Porter. He didn't kill Mikey Garcia. And he went the distance with Danny Garcia. Where's the killer instinct? All these names down here. All these names down here. Anyway, I got to move on, big dog. But man, appreciate your input, though. Real talk. Appreciate your input. I don't think Errol Spence is a killer like that. It sounds good, but I really don't think he's a killer like that, bro. Let's talk about this next topic, though. I know you heard it in the news, man. We got to talk on. I want your input. Don't worry about what's going across, because I forgot to add Isaac Cruz. But Devin Haney, all right? Devin Haney, Isaac Cruz, Rolly Romero, and the directed target point, Javonte Davis. Now, Eddie Hearns comes out and he says this in Boxing News. Eddie Hearns is saying that Devin Haney open to Javonte Davis fight on December 5th. Once again, Eddie Hearns is saying that Devin Haney is open to Javonte Davis fight on the 5th. Now, for what I'm understanding is he was supposed to have been, in the process of signing, linking up with JoJo Diaz. But what Hearn is saying that JoJo is refusing to sign the contract for whatever the case may be. We don't know the intricate details of the contract. But let's just say Hearns is telling the truth for once. All right, cool. I like it. Devin Haney, Javonte Davis. I don't see it fucking happening at all. But let's just say Devin Haney. Okay. Boom. Now you go to the point of Isaac Cruz. Anyone who knows Isaac Cruz, let me pull this cat up. The pit bull. This would be a damn good fight for Javonte Davis, just as Rolly Romero will be a very good fight for Javonte Davis stylistically. Because both of these fighters come forward and provide Javonte Davis with a target that's going to be right there in his space. And you all know what happens when Javonte Davis sees the food comes closer and closer to him where he don't have to go hunt it down. We all know what happens. Sooner or later, he's going to start breaking you down at the body. He's going to land those hooks. And then he's going to whip up some nice little goddamn uppercut cream pie for your ass. Isaac Cruz is now came into the picture to potentially step in there for Rolly Romero, who has several women accusing him of sexual assault. Allegedly. Okay? I'm asking you, who would you like to see Javonte Davis fight? Devin Haney, Isaac Cruz. Also, I want you to consider this. Also factor in the process of what would be the more easier fight to make between Devin Haney and Isaac Cruz. Check this out with Isaac Cruz, man. I'm going to share screen right quick. I like Isaac Cruz, man. I'm serious. I've said it before. I like Isaac Cruz style of fighting. I do. Isaac Cruz is 23 years old fighting like the way he does. 23 years old. Now, his KO percentage is 62%, 62.5%. Let's take a little gander. This is when Isaac Cruz started to light that little spark in the boxing community when he fucked up my boy Diego Magdaleno. I was there ringside, man, in San Antonio. Isaac Cruz blasted. It was like demolition time for Isaac Cruz. He tore through Diego Magdaleno. And at that time, Magdaleno only had 3 losses, but he starched him in the first round, killed him. I think he had that pandemic energy built up, and he came out there in that October to prove a point. Then he goes in there against Jose Romero, and he goes the distance. Very entertaining fight. But the one of the big reasons why he went the distance with Romero is because he never really truly switches anything up. His cardio is crazy, and he continues to come forward and try to land the big shot. Francisco Vargas, only 2 losses. Same thing. Isaac Cruz come forward attack. That was this year. Yeah, he had 2 fights this year. What would be a better fight? Javonte Davis being a knockout artist the way he is, being a heavy hitter, a power puncher, an esteemed boxer, because Javonte can box. People would like to see more so Isaac Cruz because they believe he has a little bit more power than Devin Haney. All right. And also they believe Javonte Davis in devastating fashion will knock him out just like Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero and Isaac Cruz have similar fighting styles. I will give the edge to Isaac Cruz stylistically, a little bit more discipline. But both of them are hard-headed when it comes to the technical aspect and discipline of the sweet signs. Both Romero and motherfucking Cruz just continue to get punched and they keep on coming forward. For Devin Haney, though, this would be a huge fight for Javonte. A huge fight. Devin Haney versus Javonte Davis. A fight that people definitely want to see. Both of them has that tie, that link, that plug through Floyd Mayweather. And when it comes down to boxing, both of them can box. Who's faster? A lot of people say Devin Haney is the faster. He has the faster hands. I don't know, man. I've seen Javonte fight. And when Javonte wants to be quick on the shot, when he want to draw from the holster, that motherfucker he's fast, man. When he put his punch combinations together, Javonte Davis is absolutely a tank. What separates Devin Haney and Javonte Davis is power. Javonte has legitimate, certified, official, credential power. We all seen what Jorge Linares was able to do to Haney in the 10. But let's not forget the spread. From the first round to the 10, Devin Haney was getting in that ass and he was outboxing Jorge Linares. I can say with confidence, he's not going to have that success with Javonte Davis like Jorge Linares was waiting off and acting like he couldn't goddamn go to the body and just headhunt a lot doing that motherfucker. That's one thing about Javonte. He will go to the body. See, and you got to look at all aspects of success. Devin Haney was putting on a boxing clinic, but Linares, with the experience he had, knowing he couldn't hit the head of Haney, fucking go to the body and stop being stupid. All your losses was knockouts. Javonte Davis is a very methodical, predatory boxer. He hunts his opponent down and break their motherfucking back. I'm serious. Javonte Davis, man, fuck being a tank. They need to come up with a species. Javonte Davis hunts. He hunts, man. A tank don't hunt. A tank is driven. A tank has to be driven. You know what I'm saying? I know they have some high tech shit where they can remotely control a tank and all that, but most of the time a tank is driven. But for Javonte in a full contact sport like this, he is a hunter. him and Devin Haney will come down to pretty much who can put the grounds away, who can land the more effective punches consistently. I don't think Devin Haney is going to hurt Javonte, but then you turn around, can Devin Haney keep his space etiquette with Javonte and not get caught? Because that is the biggest question. Can he sustain his space, sustain his real estate so he would not get caught by Javonte Davis? Because it's bound to happen. Believe that. It's bound to happen now. He's gonna touch Devin Haney sooner or later. I'm not prognosticating that he's gonna knock out Devin Haney. I'm just saying it's gonna be a good fight. Do the people want to see Haney or Isaac Cruz? I really think, Isaac Cruz, being 22-1, his only loss came back in 2016 against Luis Matano. You know what I'm saying? He lost a UD. But besides that, he's making noise right now like this Tyson-esque fighter. Like he comes straight forward, brawling, and load up on some heavy ass bombs, man. The same way that Rolly Romero do. He does the same execution. They load up on their power shots at any given time. Anyway it goes, Floyd Mayweather is going to look at who sells the most tickets. Devin Haney coming over here to fight Javonte Davis. It ain't gonna be no, I'm the A side, you the B. You ain't gonna, no, you're gonna be the B side regardless. Like you're not gonna be able to outprice yourself and come in there acting like you're the A side against Javonte. It's not gonna happen. So it's all about if Haney is willing to accept his position or not. Because Isaac Cruz know he's the B side if the fight is taken, but Haney, I don't know. It's all about money with Haney. Errol put on a boxing clinic and beat all those dudes in unanimous decision. A boxing clinic. Dude get touched up, man. Errol get touched up more than an annual exam. Regis saying Ellaby made Tank delete that tweet earlier. Time for Tank to step up December 5th. Hey, Tank be going in them cats, man. Spence did beat Danny like nobody else did, though, in a comeback fight. And by the looks of it, Spence will have literally killed the Pac-Man we saw versus Ugas. I wanted him to fight Pac-Man so he can get it on his record, for real. I wanted Pac-Man to be on Errol Spence's resume or Terrence Crawford rather than Yordenis Ugas. Seriously, because those are the premier names in the division. But salute to Yordenis Ugas for having a legend on his resume. And he beat him. He beat a heavy leg Pacquiao. Should have been Pitbull from the beginning, but Regis said he'll fight Tank. See, I didn't put Regis in there because that fight ain't happening. Ain't happening. Regis is a dog, for real. Regis is a dog. I didn't put Regis in there because I truly believe we're talking about two different divisions, okay? Rolly Romero fights at 135. He's a 140-pound former world champion. There's two different divisions we're talking about. So when it comes down to sustaining the Rolly Romero, he's gonna fight him at 35. Then we gotta keep it 100. We gotta talk about the 135-pound division. Regis ain't trying to come down to 35. He ain't trying to do that. Regis is not like Regis walking around. He's a skinny dude either. Eddie Hearn say anything when it comes to a fighter he's working with. I know Eddie Hearn's always putting them bullshit ass lies, but in this case, we know what the triangle theory is. Jojo Diaz was supposed to be signing the contract, but in the meanwhile, just like they got that free promo with Gary Russell Jr. on YouTube, it's Eddie Hearn's out here putting out a damn shit, putting out a flag to my, hey, Devin Haney's open. Listen, people, whenever you hear open or in talks, it don't mean shit. Devin Haney's open. So-and-so Terrence Crawford open or in talks. It don't mean shit in boxing. That is just a clickbait. It's just a little morsel to put out there and say, yeah, let's give this to them to bite on so they can be satisfied and run with it. It don't have anything, no weight to it. Pitbull Cruz. Let me stop sharing this. Pitbull Cruz been in the picture for Tank. He's being built for that reason. No, Isaac Cruz better learn how to box before he step in there with Tank. Isaac Cruz would pick up his second defeat and brain damage. I feel kind of bad for the 23-year-old. Like, he's 23 years old and he's taking crazy freaking contact. Like, he go in there with Tank, man. He's going to take some damage. So let me ask you this about Rolly Romero, y'all. I really don't know what do you think he did what the females are telling him. Obviously, it's serious enough for them to say, okay, he might be pulling out of the fight. I say put him in there with Tank. He get knocked the fuck out. So when it's time for him to go to court, he can say, I don't remember shit. I'm just being honest, dog. But real talk, though. I don't want no women's movement coming in here because we don't know the shit is true or not. So you can't come over here for me. But think about this. What do y'all think? How you think Rolly would do against Tank, being that we've seen him attempt to walk through an opponent that is landing punches, and Rolly doesn't switch it up. He doesn't, move side to side, use lateral movement. He doesn't cut corners. He doesn't try to do anything different because he pretty much don't know how to. You might see him go to the body every now and then, but how awkward is it for him to just dig to the body and then he see what his opponent's reaction is. And then he seems like he's trying to do the Philly shell like Floyd. I mean, he's all over the place. Do you believe that Rolly Romero is a quality opponent for Tank Davis? Or is he going to be food for Javonte? When it comes down to it, Rolly might be out of the picture. That's unfortunate because I really want to see him fight Javonte. I think that was going to be a sleeper at the Staples Center. But when it comes down to Isaac Cruz or potentially Devin Haney, which JoJo, it seems like JoJo might sign it. If JoJo don't sign the contract with Devin Haney, he's going to, he's going to come part of the Duck Masters Coalition too. But who would you rather see, Devin Haney or Isaac Cruz, as far as entertainment value? Style-wise, yeah, they want to see Cruz. Boxing-wise, entertainment value, shit like that, they'll probably say Devin Haney. But a lot of us don't want to jump on that train because it seems so far-fetched. I don't think they're gonna take that fight with Javonte right now. I don't think they want to take that fight, man. Mitch, he tries to be. He said, I like Pitbull Cruz, but he's another highlight reel for Tank Davis. He tries to be, but he ain't. He look, the difference that separates Cruz and Davis is technical. When it comes down to the technical aspect of boxing delegation, the way Tank sets up his punches, his whole entire boxing IQ, Tank's boxing IQ is incredible. You might see from Cruz, he loves throwing overhands, his power shots. He loved throwing overhands. I'm not saying he don't go to the body, but he loved throwing overhand power shots. Javonte has been known to almost decapitate people with motherfucking whipping uppercut. He goes to the body. He has a pretty damn stiff jab. And when he let his hand rip, god damn, Javonte let his hands go. Like he said, it's no Glock. Like Javonte said, it's no safety on this Glock, god damn it. I've seen in person, Javonte let his hands rip. Oh my God, stand the fuck by. I would like Cruz and Tank to have more than 1 month to promote. Got to convince the Mayweather haters and Latino fan base that Cruz can do it. Does Isaac Cruz have a huge fan base? Like, I saw him on the walkout in San Antonio. I mean, he had some people cheering for him, but it wasn't more than the fan base that was cheering for Mario Barrios. The only time they rose up and cheered for Isaac Cruz like that was when he was, oh my God. This dude was dropping mortar rounds on Diego Magnolino. I mean, it seems like he was hitting Magnolino with body shots so fast, and they had so much power to him, like they were sticking him real nice to the point where Magnolino couldn't even fall down. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even drop to the canvas. Pitbull was just biting the shit out of him with those damn power shots to the body. It was a motherfucking crime scene. I ain't gonna lie. It was a crime scene, man. And this is the same Magnolino who I basically said was going to beat Austin Delay when they was in Nashville. It lost me an interview with Delay, but I told it the way it was. I didn't think he could handle the dog of Diego, and Diego went in there and proved it. So don't get mad at me there, Team Delay. Shit. Don't get mad at me, man. It's always a boxer getting mad at media. Haney versus Tank is clearly the fight the fans want to see. Cruz, they don't know Cruz yet. The reason why I say people would like to see Cruz versus Tank more so than Haney is because his style is straightforward, bang him out, brawling, and he's more than likely going to get his ass knocked out. With Devin Haney is more so you're going to get boxing. So, you know, Haney is not stupid. He's going to go in there and box, period. He's going to respect Javonte's power. Any boxer at 35 that goes in there and don't fully respect Javonte's power, it's crazy. It's crazy. You have to respect the power that and boxing ability of Javonte Tank Davis. Real talk. That's what I'm talking about, Mitch. I'm not more so talking about the popularity shit. You know, who has the bigger name? Obviously, Haney has the bigger name, period. No question. But I'm saying stylistically, if you want a goddamn a night of fireworks, you want some electricity, you're probably going to get that from Cruz versus Davis. Now, if you want a boxing match, so to speak, where some of the rounds might be very minimal, you know, contact, action, you'll say Haney Davis because that's just the way it is. I don't think Haney's going to be reckless going in there trying to do something he's not capable of doing. He doesn't possess power. He is a pure boxer. Devin Haney is a pure boxer, period. No one can take that away from Haney. But also Javonte Davis can box too. Floyd will not put Tank in there with no pure boxer for like another 2 years. Why not? Why not? Bro, Hoover. I've seen Javonte spar and I seen him in the ring. Javonte can box his ass off, man. That young dude right there, man, he can box. People don't give him the credit that he deserved because he do play around sometimes. Like he do allow his opponent, he play with his food. He allow his opponent to get off on him and just to give the crowd some entertainment and shit. Yeah, Devin Haney can box, but so can Javonte Davis. You have to admit, Hoover, he's had many knockouts. But you have to understand, how does he get the knockouts? That knockout with Leo Santa Cruz was absolutely history. That would go down in the boxing annals, man. He has highlight reel knockouts. Victor Postal. I mean, the list goes on and on, man. It took him 12 rounds to stop Gamboa, but did you see what led up to it? He stuck him with the damn uppercut like 3 times. Stuck him. Get your ass on the canvas. It was a wrap. He broke down Mario, the Aztec warrior. He broke him down. He's fun to watch, man. I like Tank, man. Regis ain't made 140 in 2 years. Hey, man. So okay, Mitch, talking about 140 then. So you think he gonna be able to go down to 135? It's not happening, bro. Like, Regis get on Twitter and make a name just like he did when he was in the World Boxing Super Series. You know, when him and Adrian Broner, he jumped out of the WBSS temporarily because of money issues. And then him and Adrian Broner was going at it. I'll knock your ass, I'll fuck you up. First of all, we know Adrian wasn't going to make 140. And we know Regis wasn't going to jump out that WBSS, World Boxing Super Series, because he still had money to make. And he had to defend his title. Just curious, whatever happened to Tank hit and run court date? Yeah, he has to go to court in February of 2022, something like that. He's getting this fight out the way. He's going to court early semester 2022. That ain't went nowhere. Now I must say this because I do cover boxing and MMA, so I must give you the scoop, right? So for those of you that's thinking, Tank Davis about to go to court, he's going away for a long time. Don't consider that. Don't think that way, because I must compare to John Jones. John Jones had a hit and run incident, and he did the exact same thing that Javonte Davis did. But his victim was a pregnant woman. He didn't spend a day in jail. Not only did John run into this lady, he left the scene, came back and picked up some money and then left again. He never spent a day in jail. It was a hit and run. So do you think just because it was 4 people in the car and Javonte hopped out and went to another car allegedly and somebody drove him away, he's going to do time? Nah. He ain't going to do time, man. Rolly, tailor-made for Tank. Absolutely. Look, I have to put that press conference as top 3 ever. One of the worst press conferences ever in boxing. Ever in boxing. I heard Floyd Mayweather told him to wear a mink and shades. Oh my God. Look, I encourage you all to just have a little drink, right? I don't know what you drink, man. Just take 3 shots, man. Let it soak in on an empty stomach. You know what I'm saying? Take 3 shots, right? And watch that damn presser. I swear to God, you're going to laugh your ass off. You're going to say, that nigga dumb as shit. You're going to say, that nigga dumb as shit, dog. I watched Rolly, dog. I was like, this motherfucker is hilarious. This dude is hilarious, man. He's hilarious in the wrong way. Prograis or Russell Jr., better quality opponent than Rolly? Well, for one, I don't disagree with you on that. But once again, you have to understand, they're not fighting at 40. This fight was supposed to be at 35. Rolly is currently, he holds the WBA interim at 35. So this is not going to be at 40. Russell, I don't know if that's even something that he would consider being the, nothing's came of it. And plus, he's a 26 pounder. You know what I'm saying? He still holds the WBC title down there at featherweight. So that's out of the question. But yes, Logic, it would be a better quality opposition to go in there because he said he'll box circles around Javonte. And his Russell Jr. has some of the best hands in boxing, period. And then with Progress, we all know Rougarou can box. We know he can box. But is he going to make 135 pounds? Stop talking. He needs to stop talking. If you ain't going to make 35, Floyd ain't going to give Regis Progress. Hey, Regis, you know what? We'll come up to 40 for you, dog. It's not happening, man. It's not happening. Floyd can give a damn what Regis got going on right now. Regis up here fighting on Triller. He goes up there and fight Ivan Redcatch, and the motherfucker pull off one of the biggest theatrical bullshit ass moments that you can look for in boxing. You know what I'm saying? He act like he got hit low in the groin when the shot hit him damn near on his hip. He almost did exactly similar to what Amir Khan did when he was fighting Terrence Crawford. Real talk. Similar actions, except Amir Khan just went to the ring, the corner. He went to a certain corner and looked out near the audience. He didn't want to turn around and look at Crawford. He knew he was quitting. You know what I'm saying? But it's similar incidents, man. Except Ivan Redcatch just was on the floor, kicking all around, putting on a show and shit, had to be reeled out on a stretcher. I know when I seen his ass in the hotel. This is no lie. When I seen Ivan Redcatch at the hotel by himself, I said, this motherfucker, he ain't come here to fight. He looked like he just here. He got a free hotel for the week. He coming out here to get some snacks. He didn't seem like he was motivated or nothing, dog. For real. You can't come in and trade with Tank like I think Rolly was going to do. You have to outbox him. Man, Rolly had some plan, dog. All I know is that motherfucker had the worst press conference I've seen in a long fucking time. The shit he was saying was so stupid and dumb. I swear to you, man, it made me laugh so goddamn hard. That shit was hilarious. Rolly is definitely food for Tank, but he's a quality opponent because his style and size. So style and size is quality. Mitch, is that what you're saying? Last time I checked, Rolly got washed by Jackson Mariñez. Like, he got outboxed the whole time and was gifted a belt. Style and size? Sometimes, the comments you put in him, Mitch, that shit is absolutely on point. And sometimes I'm like, is Mitch at happy hour on Sunday? Like, is he up here eating edibles while he on live? Style and size is quality for Rolly? Fuck the size. Okay. Let's talk about the style. The style is rudimentary for someone who holds a belt. He has a lot to learn. He's behind the curve there, Mitch. Man, lay off them edibles, dog. I respect your now knowledge of boxing, but you up here trying to give Rolly Romero credit. Stop it. I will give Romero the benefit of the doubt about the allegations against him because scorned females do lie to try to get back at a guy. Yeah, look, I understand. We know this. But what they don't want us to do, Biggie, is the fact that we downplay it. But yet we live in a different society now. Like, we really have to think about this. We have to process on if it's a ulterior motives as to why these females are coming out after this fight has been announced with Javonte. What did he do? Why are all these females coming out right now when he has his biggest fight of his career? And they come out talking about, well, yeah, Rolly did this, Rolly did that, Rolly did this. And we never even heard anything about this before, man. But one thing I can say about that, you're right. Scoring females will get at you. And you look, they just don't come by themselves. Bring a girl. I was just seeing you liking some of Rolly's pictures. Are y'all still y'all involved or something? Oh, y'all not? Did he do something to you? Because this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to come up with these allegations on Rolly that he inappropriately did this. We can get some money, girl. He about to go in there and fight Javonte. You down? Oh shit! I don't like that motherfucker anyway. Yeah, I'm down. Who else that he talked to? Did you see him? Do you have their number? And them motherfuckers start building up the group, dog. Once the squad has formed, these females will come out in public with the same freaking story. One thing that hurts the most is when a group of females come out saying the same fucking thing. I think Santa Cruz was outboxing Tank till he got caught. Haney younger and more skilled, but his chin won't hold up. I agree with the latter half that sooner or later Haney's chin is going to be tested. But y'all have to understand, I was at that fight. You have to understand, Tank plays around with his food sometimes. Leo Santa Cruz was having success for the benefit of Tank. Tank was pulling activity out of Leo Santa Cruz. He could have turned up, but he didn't. He didn't. Look at the fight when he was pulling back on that uppercut. He was trying to get Leo Santa Cruz into a rhythm of coming forward, that Mexican style coming forward, because he wanted to set him up for the counter uppercut. If you look in some of those rounds before Tank started to really get active, he was leaning over to his right a little bit and he was trying to shoot that right uppercut. He was trying some shit. For real. He was pulling some reactions out of Leo Santa Cruz. He was basically getting him comfortable and acclimated to a rhythm of coming forward and landing some shots. And then we saw the aftermath. What was Tank doing? He was pulling the right hand, smash, sleep, done. Tank is smart, man. Tank is a smart ass fighter, for real. He's smart. Haney should push his date back another month and just fight Cepeda. Now, I'm not trying to be. First of all, that's a good fight. Okay. Cepeda after last night. You know what I'm saying? Will that be a fight that they want, though? Let me ask you that, anybody on the live chat. After what you've seen, after what he did to Josue Vargas, it was high hope, big dreams. Cepeda goddamn ran through Josue Vargas. And I like Josue Vargas, man. Real talk. Man, he was cool cat, man. I like him as a boxer, but he gets hit too much. He gets touched too much. He gets hit too much, man. It was bound to happen. Cepeda gave him the business. Do you think that's a fight that Haney wants? I don't know, man. I don't know they want that fight right there. Cepeda is a different type of animal, dog. People need to realize that Cepeda is a different type of animal. We'll love to see Loma versus Tank, or Tank goes up to 140. Tank versus Antoine Russell. Yes, sir. We talking, Hoover. Real talk. They forget about the last Antoine Russell, man. Yes, sir. Let's advocate for that. A lot of people don't talk about Antoine because he's quiet. They're all about the family. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather, because the whole deal is rumored that Floyd Mayweather and Gary Russell, they really don't. They would never have a cordial relationship. So that might be one of the reasons that Gary Russell Jr. is not able to get the big fights. But goddamn it, Tank versus Antoine Russell, hell yeah. Hell yeah. 140, yes. I see that shit. Now, between Loma and Tank, Of course, I'll watch that because I think look, I think Loma gets stopped by Tank. Real talk. I seriously think Javonte Davis can stop Lomachenko. Fuck what Jorge Linares was able to drop him. I truly believe that Javonte will stop Lomachenko. Deep pockets can afford the best lawyers. Yes. Real talk. Real talk. I think Rolly's better opposition at 135 than Gary Russell Jr. He wouldn't even sniff on 130 yet. Plus, Rolly has a baby belt for Tank to take. Yeah, he does. And I can't disagree with you on that because Russell's been in 26. For him to move up to 135, yeah, he does have fast hands, but we're talking about Javonte. He's a true 35er. He's moved up to 40. So, you know what I'm saying? It would be a hard task for Russell to come up here and say he's going to box circles around Javonte. I have to see it. Seriously, I have to see it because he's moving up in weight. And who's to say his hand speed is still going to transfer over from 26 to 35? We don't know that shit. But I'd definitely like to see Antoine Russell, though. Antoine Russell at 40 against Javonte. Yes, sir, indeed. I would like to see that fight. People need to start putting respect on them Russells. You better put respect on them Russells, man. Biggie say Romero should just cash app those females a couple of stacks so he can get them out the way so he can fight. I'm curious to know how deep it is. Like I said, I don't know all the details about this shit, but I just can't call it, man. It's a difference. Like this is the difference of situations that we have going on here, right? Check this out, Biggie. Javonte Davis is he's in a hit and run where he ran into some people in a sports car and hit them and they was injured, so forth, and he hopped out and went elsewhere and so forth, right? That's an accident where people are injured, right? But yet he was still able to come down here and fight Mario Barrios. Then you look, he was still able to keep the fight date. You look at Rolly Romero, he has 5 females talking about sexual assault, and they talking about pulling him from the fight. That's the power of these women. The power of women getting together, grouping together, is powerful. Tank, he had a serious situation where he injured some people, got out, fled the scene, and now he has court early 22. But now you have Rolly. These accusations haven't even been proven guilty. And potentially he's being pulled out of the biggest fight of his career. That's wild. When it comes to females grouping up, man, they're powerful. Cepeda will probably spark Haney. I'm telling you, Cepeda, man. I'm telling you, when I found out that Josue Vargas was fighting Cepeda, I was like, ugh. Because I knew Montana Love that was fighting his dance partner at that time that they made the airlines and people was like, oh, this is the fight, this, that, and the other. I knew Montana Love had defense. I knew Montana Love was slick. I didn't expect him to do what he did, but I knew he was capable of it because he had defense. He's very, very elusive. That's one thing. He trying to be pretty. He trying to stay pretty. So his dance partner, Cepeda, I was expecting nothing less when he stepped in here against Vargas last night. Man, his dad was crying. I was like, God damn. And not to mention the shit that popped off at the presser. The shit that popped off with the presser, I felt that shit was kind of real. I say, Cepeda, he ain't about that shit, man. Cepeda about to get with your ass, man. Like, that's a tough dude right there. Cepeda's a tough motherfucker, man. I don't know if Haney should take that fight right now. Rolly is quality opponent for Tank. He has a baby belt and he will come forward making the fight fan friendly. I'm not saying Rolly is quality, but he serves his purpose for a Tank fight. Yeah, I mean, Heavy bags in the gym serve their purpose for Tank Davis when he's in sparring or when he's in camp. Heavy bags. I think, Rolly Romero would be nothing else than another bag in the gym for Tank to punch on. Real talk. Real talk. I just think he's another piece of equipment, a human piece of equipment that's able to move on his own for Tank to punch on. I do. When you're talking about, okay, let me give him a little bit of how you put it. Let me give Rolly just a little bit of excuses. We all know Rolly Romero fast-tracked in boxing. He hasn't been boxing that long. All right? He hasn't. So seeing the fact that he's being placed in this situation, I'm just curious to know why, though. Because Floyd Mayweather, as genius as he is, understands that Rolly's skill set is still embryonic to that of Javonte Davis, dog. He knows that Javonte Davis is going to slaughter this motherfucker. He is absolutely going to destroy General Bob. For those of you who don't know General Bob, that's that little half dummy that be in the gym where people just take their damn punches and kicks and do dirty shit too. Rolly Romero going in there against Tank. Floyd understands that he's going to get slaughtered. I don't know why. I don't know why all of a sudden Rolly Romero's is next up. I don't like conspiracy shit, but I'm curious to see if these accusations are real. Brandon Lee versus Matias versus Tank. Man, those names are good names. I like Brandon Lee. I like Sabrio Matias. I like it, but when it comes to Floyd Mayweather, are they selling tickets? Neither one of those names are selling tickets. And once again, that Hoover, I know what you're gonna say. Neither is Rolly, but goddamn, Rolly is what? An in-house fighter, shouty. Rolly is an in-house fighter. He ain't selling no tickets, but Rolly is an in-house fighter, and he wears a mink coat in 80-degree weather, and he's an in-house. So it's easy for Floyd to say, "Hey, man, you want your opportunity?" Yeah, champ. Yeah, who you got? Javonte. Shit. Hey, I'm gonna finish up this workout, and let me go home and talk to the La Familia and check my healthcare paperwork and dental paperwork. Let me just gather with my family just a little bit, because Floyd, you remember I was calling Devin Haney names and shit. I was talking shit to Devin Haney. I know I called Javonte a bitch in the past, but I haven't recently, though. I really haven't did this on a consistent basis. But let me just get with my family, because this is a lot on my mind right now. You know what I'm saying? Let me check and see if what is my health insurance up to date. I just want everything to be good. I mean, he made Rolly Romero go back and reconsider even thinking about taking this fight. Like, man, you cannot tell me that when the fight was presented to Rolly and they said Javonte, he didn't goddamn swallow several times. Floyd said, what's going on? Oh, nothing. I was just nothing. It's all good. You just said Javonte. I don't know what this is going on. Like, I'm undefeated. I have a title. Why you put me in there with Javonte? You know it's gonna take my title away. I'm not even gonna be relevant in boxing no more. I'm already like 2% relevant right now. So you put me in there with Tank to get destroyed, man. Come on, man. Not only are you taking my title, but I'm going straight to the hospital. God damn it. I didn't see Leo outboxing Tank at all. He was landing a few punches, but I don't know about outboxing. He wasn't, man. Tank was pulling he was pulling activity. He was pulling energy out of Leo Santa Cruz to see what he was about, like to see what would he do the same thing over again. I mean, it's like collecting data, man. That's all he was doing. And because some of those exchanges early on, Tank was just walking into him, and just basically seeing how much power Leo Santa Cruz had for him before he unleashed on his ass. He's very methodical, man. He's a smart fighter. People need to understand that about Tank. Tank is a motherfucking beast, dog. I say Cepeda because Bill said that who they were looking at after a first round KO, he's hot. Not a tough fight, so January should be cool. Let's see. Because people be calling out some of these names. I'm telling you, Cepeda ain't no motherfucking. I don't know, man. You thinking it look easy? I don't see that in Cepeda, man. I don't see that, dog. I really don't. PBC ain't bullshitting. They didn't even wait on Ukastagi B sample. Hell no, they ain't working on no B sample because the motherfucker actually tested for EPO and they pretty sure of it. You know what I'm saying? Plus, come on, man. Jose, he's been on a downward spiral back and forth trying to get himself on track. You know? I mean, I seen him get touched up by Lionel Thompson down here. And not a lot of people know who Lionel Thompson even is. Good guy, though. Shout out to Lionel Thompson, man. I told you I had a crazy story about Lionel Thompson. I will always have respect for that dude. Real talk, man. I always have respect for Lionel Thompson regardless of what he does. He can box. He's pretty serious. But I'm gonna tell you what I'm talking about. Like I done ran to a lot of boxers, right? And they have different attitudes, personalities, and shit like that. But imagine this shit right here. I'm in the hotel in Baltimore. I drove up there to see Tank versus Ricardo Nunez, right? And Gamboa was on the undercard. So I'm in the hotel and shit. So I'm fishing. I'm looking for interviews. So I see Lionel Thompson. But at that time, I just finished the interview and I'm really thinking about some other shit. I said, man, let me get him. Oh, Dylan Price. Dylan Price. I just finished with Dylan Price. So I said, shit, let me get Lionel Thompson. But at the time, I didn't know it was Lionel Thompson by his outfit and what he had on. Do you know I was calling that man Hank Lundy the whole time and he never corrected me? Lionel Thompson allowed me to call him Hank Lundy. And the dude never corrected me. I still had an interview, man. I'm referring to him as Hank Lundy. And he's just going along with the interview. Professional as a motherfucker. Professional as shit, dog. Professional. He did not say, hold up. You don't even know who the fuck I am. Like, he wasn't an asshole about it or nothing. Much respect the motherfucking Lionel Thompson for real. And then he went in there and whooped on Jose Kostagi in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him, bro. Loma would get his ass clipped versus Frank at 135 against Tank. Could possibly outbust Tank, but I doubt it. The ankle has skills. Let's see. To be honest, ankle has skills too. I'll pay for that fight. Lomachenko, isn't he about to face Richard Comey? So I'm curious to see what he's gonna do with Richard Comey, another one of Teofimo's opponents, a common opponent, right? But I seriously believe that Tank can stop Lomachenko. Seriously. I seriously think he can, man. All that footwork and shit, yeah. You know, your dad took you to dance classes, all that shit. I get it. But you're getting older now. You stayed in the Olympics for 2 tours, and your real age is probably like 46, 47 in boxing years. Yeah, for real. Cepeda and Josue look fake as fuck to me. One nigga jumped up with the phone in his own face. You talking about before or doing after the fight? You talking about before or after the fight? I'm on record saying Rolly ain't shit, but he talked this way into this fight. I never knew it. I never knew he talked this way into the fight. I just think he was just out there just taking shots. And, you know, especially Devin Haney, but, you know, taking shots at Javonte and this, that, and the other. I don't really think he knew he would get the fight. I just think Floyd believes it's a pretty decent fight because it's easy. It's a soft touch for Tank, and it's a belt. The belt don't fucking matter really, but I'm just saying. Tank had the WBA regular. Rolly just has the interim. He may have fucked his way out. Hey, tell me, what about that dude with the phone though? I'm not sure. Y'all hold on for a minute. All right, we back, people. He said one nigga jumped up on the phone in his own face. So Hoover, you talking about like when they was entering the ring for the fight? I mean, they wasn't Josue's camp, was it? Vargas camp, was it? I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, was it in his camp after the loss, or who had the phone? I'm just curious. That's the first time I was looking at two different areas yesterday, two different fights. I'm just curious who had the phone. That's all. Let me go over here right quick. I want to let me go back up to the top. Go to the top. Damn. I can't freaking. Okay. Man, y'all hit the like button if you're in the building. Come on, hit the like button, man. You know, sub to the channel. Donate if you feel like it. Let me see. I don't know what happened either. Okay. Mitch, you brought it up, right? Okay. I'm on record as saying Rolly and shit, but he talked this way. But what about the phone? I'm just curious to know what you're talking about as far as that phone situation or whatever. Anyway, I keep it moving. We'll see how that works though. My last topic, man, I'm gonna make it short and brief. The Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant. You know, I like how the promo is built up. The energy is built up. I don't consider just Canelo pushing Plant that did it. I think more people are paying attention to it because it's one of the bigger fights that's coming up between two champions that the boxing community respect. No one's calling Caleb Plant a bum. You know, I mean, no one's calling him a bum. So people look at him as being a very competitive fighter, a complete boxer to a point that matches up well against a flat-footed Canelo Alvarez, who also can box. Style-wise, this should make for a very interesting super middleweight championship unification. A lot of people believe in more and more that Caleb Plant has a very solid chance of upsetting Canelo Alvarez. Then Canelo Alvarez fans, it's like, there's no way in hell Caleb Plant has another level to match what Canelo is bringing to the table. And that's a lot of people what they saying, because Canelo's just been running around, you know, winning at will, doing what the fuck he want to do. He ain't knocking motherfuckers out. It depends on who it is. Like, I know he stopped Billy Joe Saunders, but let's not sit up here and act like Abner Yildirim wasn't gonna, you know, go out when he's supposed to. That's what he's supposed to. But, you know, speaking of Callum Smith and, you know, some of the other names, people really looking at this fight, I guess they selling down. You know, they looking at everything, all the promo, the all access of Caleb Plant. And they say, damn, if anybody can rise to the occasion, I think Caleb Plant can. Caleb Plant is really going to have to be either leveled or ahead of Canelo Alvarez coming to the mid rounds. He cannot be behind playing catch up with Canelo. It's just, man, it's just not a good deal. You cannot be riding in the back seat with Canelo when it approaches midway to the fight. Definitely. You got to be in Canelo Alvarez windshield. You got to be down, you know, gassing it. You got to have enough to stay on the gas. Box smart. And if you don't have to, don't stay in there too long and exchange with Canelo Alvarez on the inside. Because that we know. We know Canelo can take a punch, and he also can deliver one, especially to the body head. We don't know how strong Caleb Plant is in sustaining those body attacks by Canelo Alvarez. That's a big question. That's a big question. Canelo was quick with the 1-2 in the face-off, though. I ain't gonna lie. Canelo wore the proper attire because he knew what was going down, man. He knew what he had to do to sell the fight. Plant didn't know. Canelo wore a short sleeve shirt and some skinnies. Canelo took off his shades, man. He knew. Smart. Caleb Plant came up there in a fitted suit, tailored suit with shades on, and Canelo, you know, popped him in and left right side of his face, and he ended up cutting his face. That should be healed up by next week. I mean, it's healed up now, but I'm almost sure it's going to open up again during the fight. Paul brothers have no KO clause in their contracts. Makes sense why Floyd and Woodley didn't finish him. That's what I'm talking about. Hoover, drop those gems. See if any of that shit was to come out, and look, it's footage out there, Hoover, of in both fights of them basically talking, trying to say, hey man, calm down, man. It's an exhibition. This, that, and the other. Because they know they just milking the motherfucking public to stay undefeated. You know, Logan Paul isn't undefeated, but Jake Paul is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they sitting up here. Logan Paul up here telling Floyd Mayweather, hey, man, calm down, this exhibition. Stop whooping my ass, Floyd. Stop whooping my ass. Damn. Let me get out, Floyd. Floyd, like, hell no, nigga. I'm trying to show you how it is. I'm trying to make you feel how it is. You know, all those times when I'm leaving the club and going running. You know what I'm saying? You know me. This is real. This ain't fake. I want you to always remember I did you a favor tonight. I get it, Hoover. They up here, bamboozling the boxing audience, the casuals that believe these social media superstars should be getting paid millions. Now Jake Paul is up here about to fight Tommy Fury. And motherfuckers are acting like, oh, you want me to fight a boxer? I'll fight a boxer. Not Tommy Fury, though. Not Tommy Fury, dog. Who is he? Not Tommy Fury, though. I can give a fuck, though. Real talk. Man, they getting over on boxing. Boxing don't care. The boxers don't care about them getting their bag, so I don't either. I'm talking about the little melee at the weigh-in. Yeah. For sure. It's just the way that Vargas was jumping back and forth. Like, I look at the Terrence Crawford and Jose Benavidez. That look authentic. That look genuine to me. That look like, hey, get off me. And Crawford came back and tried to swing on. I mean, he didn't swing on to the point where he wanted to damn connect, but he swung on him and said, hey, get this breeze. Feel this breeze right quick. I got Plant beating Canelo, but the scorecards will not show it. Yeah, I got Plant beating Canelo too. I want Sweet Hands to step up. I want him to change levels that night. I want him to basically perform outside of every moment he ever experienced in his boxing career against Canelo. I want him to just have a moment so bright that, he's able to just do away with all the adversity he had in his life, man. He's been through some adversity, man. His mom being shot by for brandishing a weapon, and then his daughter passing. Yeah, man, that's tough, bro. For real. And that boxing shit over there in Nashville is non-existent. Like, they have some very good barbecue. But besides that, that is it. They have some country music and all this other shit, but that's it, bro. They start kicking at each other and shit. Yeah, man, that got a little weird to me, because I'm like, man, check this out, Mitch. What got me was his dad, the way he was swinging. I was like, dude, you a boxing coach and you're swinging like that? I mean, am I seeing some shit? Like, his dad was just swinging, no technique, no nothing, just welling away. Like, fuck no, dog. You can't be teaching no boxing and you up here swinging. Hell no. It looked like a female, dog. Canelo throw that wide left hook over and over. I'm sure Plant would see it coming and slip, then counter all day. I hope you're right, Hoover. I hope he's able to slip that hook, because that hook lands to the body. It does damage. I hope Caleb Plant's defense, man, is super sharp. For real. I hope it's super sharp, man. Clarissa exposed Jake Paul. On what? What she exposed him on? Real talk. I was having this conversation. I was like, Clarissa Shields' notoriety and popularity will skyrocket if she was to step in there with Jake Paul. But then, I say to myself, I don't want Clarissa to be in that moment where she's trying to prove a point, but Paul is trying to make it a dirty, dirty fight and be doing some roughhouse tactics. And then Carissa's people jump in the ring and it'd be an all-out brawl. You know what I'm saying? Like Zab Judah them back in the day, or the shit that happened with Tyson, Holyfield. Just some of the most memorable brawls that went on in the ring. I don't want her, you still got a male on female shit. And also you have a white and black athlete. It gets even worse when the woman is black and the male is white. So if he start doing some humiliating type shit, trying to damn show out on her, it's some people gonna come out the stands. You know what I'm saying? They say, "Oh, okay, all right." In between rounds, you gonna hear somebody come up to the apron and say, "Jake, all right, we got you, bro. We see you. We see what you're doing. You still in there fighting a woman though, but you wanna do it, okay." You know, the motherfucker. Look, they go like, "All right, we got you, bro. You gotta leave this arena." I'm serious, man. That's the only thing I worry about. Shields being humiliated, like Jake Paul doing some dumb shit, because she only has 2 knockouts professionally, but yet and still, I truly believe Carissa can outbox the shit out of Jake Paul. Real talk. But when it comes down to getting her up, you know, placing her up against the ropes, dirty boxing, just dirty tactics, period, I really think he'll make it a point to try to dog her. You know what I'm saying? But for Clarissa Shields, she's gonna have to own up to her words. She say she'll be the man, you know, ass and shit like that. Well, you got to go in there and prove that you can handle the strength and willpower of a Jake Paul, a YouTuber. If that fight was to come to fruition, I think that'll be the most money she ever made in her life. For real. I think Jake Paul them can make that shit happen because, for one, they left trilling with the Showtime, so they have some people that'll support them. And then a man versus woman exhibition, that should be crazy. She said Jake has no KO clause in his Showbox contract. Oh, yeah, for sure, man. That's good shit. Thanks for dropping that in the live chat, for real. Because, you know, a lot of people believing that they have a chance to damn take over boxing. And the fact that I'm hearing that Mike Tyson may potentially fight a Paul brother, it's just crazy. This is Canelo's best opponent since the Triple G fight. Kovalov was washed and dried. BJ was nearing retirement. Smith and Yildirim was scared out their ass. And Fielding is trash. Jacob's happy to be there. Pretty much. All of that, pretty much. He said Smith and Yildirim was scared. And Fielding was trash. Fielding was the WBA regular title holder, dog. He couldn't help that he was in a position to get that money and have Canelo come in there and stop him in the 3rd round. I mean, don't blame you. Don't blame Fielding. He was Rocky. You know what I'm saying? That was Rocky Fielding, Mitch. His parents made sure that he was going to be a boxer, and they named him Rocky. Yo, Adrian. They wanted him to goddamn have a life in boxing, dog. Yo, well, you saying I can't beat Canelo? I mean, that's what you're saying. You name me Rocky. That's what you mean. You have no confidence in me. I'm Rocky. I can do it. No, you can't, Rocky. You can't beat Canelo. You can't. You can try, but you won't succeed. You don't have confidence in me. I mean, just give me an opportunity. I can. Rocky Fielding, man. That dude. Who is Rocky Fielding, man? Dude get taken out from a body shot in the 3rd. Stop it. Yeah, Carissa versus Jake would do more numbers than Carissa versus Layla Ali. Possibly. Yeah, possibly. But you got to understand one thing, Hoover. Nico Ali Wash just fought down here and was 1-0 and had people cheering for him. What in the heck do you think Layla Ali is going to have? She's still a dime. Layla is still a dime. You think more people are going to watch Carissa versus Jake than Carissa versus Layla Ali? Shit. People are going to show up just to see Layla. That woman's still fine. They still want look, they're gonna show up just to see Layla. Because for one, she's undefeated. Carissa's undefeated. She's holding the Ali name. If a grandson can get that much freaking backing and cheering and support, and no one knows who Nico Ali is, what do you think Layla Ali, who actually boxed and retired undefeated, what do you think she's gonna get? Man, people gonna be tuned in. They're gonna say, "Nah, I gotta see this shit." For real, dog. I was shocked at how many people was cheering for Nico. I was shocked, man. I say, do they even know, or is it because Sugar Hill is in his corner, because Flavor Flav is in his corner? You know what I'm saying? And all these people are backing Ali's grandson. And believe it or not, Flavor told me that that's his God. That's why he was there, because I didn't understand why he was there walking around with the team. He told me that was his godson. I was like, all right, cool. That's what's up. That's what his pops swinging like that. Yeah, that was his pops, right? I saw those sloppy ass schoolgirl punches. Yeah, man, I was shocked. That wasn't a good look, period. Like from that presser on, I was like, this is not a good look for the Vargas camp. His dad swinging like two girls fighting on the playground. I'm like, man, what the fuck is that about? You train your son, bro. Man, come on. Man, I ain't here for Jake versus Guo. That's a big dude. But Clarissa Shields ain't small, man. Clarissa, look, why you she's gonna drop down to 147? Clarissa, she has weight. So I'm not saying she's gonna get up to 190, but look at the highest weight class she's competed at. Look at Tyrone Woodley. Tyrone Woodley, the highest weight class he competed in the UFC was what? 170, right? So he fought Jake Paul. So you trying to tell me Clarissa Shields, she can't fight Jake? Shields has some fast hands, man. Anybody gonna tell me that they think Jake Paul hands are faster than Shields? Hell no. Hell no, man. Man, I ain't here for Jake versus Guo. Either way, Triller or Showtime should try and make those fights, man. Yeah, I agree on that. But Triller, man, they're trying to get themselves together. You know, you had the situation with Vander Holyfield and Vitor Belfort. Vitor smashed Holyfield. Oh, man, that just wasn't a good look, bro. Like, Holyfield looked very, very old. You know, I mean, Vitor Belfort, just put it this way, Hoover. No drug testing. So a lot of fighters are picking up a paycheck and they don't have to worry about shit when they go over the Triller. When I seen Vitor Belfort in the open workout, when he had muscles like the old TRT Vitor, I was like, man, Holyfield in trouble. Holyfield in trouble, man. You got the old Vitor. He's bulked up a little bit now. He put on some muscle. Look, this is what I'm not saying. I'm not saying because he put on muscle, Holyfield was in trouble. I'm saying the history that I know with Vitor and the different transformations that he's went through on drugs and off drugs. I've seen him when he fought Wanderlei Silva. That was the big, bulky Vitor when the drug testing was light. It wasn't even no drug testing right then. And then the UFC implemented USADA. You know what I'm saying? United States Anti-Doping Agency. USADA started coming on the scene, and man, motherfuckers started changing. Their whole body structure and composition started changing. Carissa would put hands on Jake. Carissa spars man in camp. I agree she spars man in camp, but what I'm saying is it's no doubt that she can go in there and handle herself. It's no doubt. Her hands, she's a better boxer, obviously. But she's going to have to go in there and make sure she stays out of trouble. Because once she started touching Jake Paul and humiliating him, instead of him saying no mas like Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray, he's going to try to throw something dirty, an elbow, forearm, something. He's gonna try his best to cut her open and try to act like he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. I just don't want an all-out brawl to happen, like Khabib versus Conor McGregor. Like that was an all-out melee. I think if Jake Paul went in there and tried to embarrass Clarissa Shields and do some dirty shit to a female, a black female at that, I think it'd be an all-out brawl up in that bitch, man. I think Flint, Michigan. Listen, this is why I say this. I'm just trying to put the collage together for y'all. You saw what happened when she supposed to have that fight in Flint. And her man, allegedly, her brother punched her opponent's coach, right? Older guy, too. Dude hit the ground, knocked his teeth out, all that shit. So that was like a small in her hometown. And she was fighting a girl. Imagine what the fuck would happen if she's going in there to fight Jake Paul. Who do you think is going to be sitting in those chairs? It's going to be some people that's there to look out for. I'm not saying Jake Paul ain't going to have nobody in that motherfucker. But once he start to fight dirty and try to embarrass her, Flint, Michigan going to flood that bitch out like the dirty water that was coming out them faucets. It's going to get dirty real quick. And Jake Paul's going to be like, I don't know what they're mad at. She said she wanted to come in here and box. I don't know why the bottles came in the ring. Somebody threw a bicycle in this motherfucker. Like, why? Why so angry? I don't know. Carissa's going to have to go in there and show and prove, man, if she want that shit. I would like to see it, to be honest, because she go in there and whoop on Jake Paul. She might not have gotten notoriety in boxing, and she still has to build up extreme amount of notoriety in MMA. But I promise you, she go in there and beat Jake Paul up for 6 to 8 rounds. I would say 6. Let's do 6. In an exhibition, people like, oh shit, Jake Paul, you ain't shit no more. You got beat by a female. Not just any female, 2-time gold medal, standard winner, champion. Multi-division champion. You got beat by a female. Get the fuck out of here. Mike Lee can probably beat Fielding. That's a 50-50 fight. Man, nobody ain't trying to see Mike Lee. Mike Lee probably up there, bouncing for a local nightclub and shit. I don't know. Hoover, that's still a 200-pound man under 25 years of age with some solid power too. USSA said Jake has real power. Hey, man, look. Yeah, it's a weight difference, but I'm telling you like this is a boxing match. So therefore, it's up to the referee to break the action if it's up against the ropes. If he's motherfucking up there trying to use his weight and fight dirty on the inside and shit like that. It's an exhibition bout. So let the ref keep it in the center of the square. I'm not too much worried about his weight coming in. It's going to be up to, because that can be nullified. It's going to be up to Carissa to go in there and shine on his ass for like 6 rounds. She can do 6 rounds. That's easy. She can box him on the outside and make him look stupid for 6 rounds. Easy. That's easy work. Weight ain't going to be a factor if he's slow as shit. She's going to have to make sure her defense is on point. Timing impeccable. For real. Yeah. Good point, Hoover. Carissa asking for the same terms. No knockout. Yeah. That's a good point. Jake Paul chin is looking more like Johnny Bravo every day. And that's from them pads, man. You got that Jay Leno chin, that Uriah Faber chin. How is that possible, man? Next, mark my word, they're gonna start losing their hair, bro. I don't think these guys are working out as hard as people believe them to. I think they're taking certain supplements or whatever to sustain a certain type of physique, and that's that. They might be even smoking in between fights. But what I don't want to see, to be honest, what I don't want to see is Tommy Fury and Jake Paul. I don't want to see Tommy Fury. I don't think Tommy Fury is an eye catcher when it comes to boxing. It's not a fan favorite, nor is it an attraction. I don't want to see that shit with Tommy Fury, dog. I do not want to see a Tommy Fury. I don't want to see that shit. But man, that's all I got, man. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Real talk. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Make sure you hit the like button out the door, man. Continue to show up to the channel. I'm definitely still getting settled in where I'm at, but trying to do lives consistently. And we definitely some more fights that's on the horizon, but just pay close attention to the big names that's out here. We still have the Figueroa and Cool Boy Steph fight that's gonna be on deck pretty soon too. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm serious. I like Cool Boy Steph boxing style. God damn, that dude can box, man, and not get hit. He can hit and not get hit, man. People do not sleep on freaking Cool Boy Steph. And also I want to give a shout out to Carlos Jackson. Carlos Jackson, man, got it the hard way in boxing. Put his time in, grind it, take it seriously. He fought Jonathan Guzman, who had like 24 victories. And he was pressing the issue the entire fight. He was pressing the pace, man. This is a former world champion. He was pressing the pace. And people are like they have something to say about the decision, like Andre Ward and them, but you have to understand he was pressing the pace the entire time. And Guzman, who has 23 fucking knockouts now. 20 knockouts. Supposedly hurt his right hand and he couldn't do this, that, and the other. But man, I'm giving my boy Carlos Jackson a shout out. King Dynamite got it done. 18 victories, dog. He was able to earn his 18th victory. Super bantamweight. Yes, sir. Atlanta boxing stand up. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, he might be back by now, but yeah, I definitely wanted to give him a shout out, man. Represent the city. Did your thing in there, bro. Proud of you. Excited for you to get that. I know you was emotional and shit, man. I know how you feel it, bro. I know you was all about that shit, man. And you pushed the pace the entire fight on Guzman. You pushed the pace, man. Real talk, man. Salute to you. Salute to a real one, man. Real good dude. Solid. Shout out to Jahad Tucker. Jahad Tucker, man. Look, Jahad Tucker. Dude comes to the office, don't he? Real talk. Jahad Tucker comes to the motherfucking office. He don't care. He goes in there and let off an 8 to 10 punch combination, dog. I might be exaggerating a little bit. But when he parks, when he opens the garage and he drives up in that motherfucker, he comes in that bitch swinging. Seriously. Jahad Tucker, man, you're going to have to be willing and able to handle the motherfucking pressure. Shout out and salute to Jahad Tucker for earning another damn professional victory. Shout out to Team Tucker over there, Shalom and Jay Prince and all those people that had something to do with Top Rank. Man, shout out to Jahad. He got it done. Follow him on Instagram. Who is Jahad Tucker, man? Dude, don't give a fuck, man. He goes in there, gets in the pocket. He reminds me a lot of Pernell Whitaker, how he moves in motion, dances. Man, he's in rhythm. He ain't trying. Look, he ain't thinking of that shit. You have to be born with it. Like, you have to be born with the movement that he has. Like, he's able to do certain things that's just not taught in the gym. So, man, salute to you for getting that victory, too. Who else was on that card I seen, man? But anyway, man, appreciate y'all input, interaction, man. Real talk. I appreciate it. Real talk. Y'all continue to drop that input. And, man, I'll continue to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.